Ah, at last.
Camera. Oh, that's
All
not the right
the
one.
stuff I've got to go through.
Ah,
Hang on,
at
let me use the
last.
microphone.
All the stuff I've got to go through. Hang on, let me mute the microphone. Freaking heck. Freaking 2 updates on my phone. Well, yeah, 2 updates on my phone in the last 4 or 5 days. And it's messed everything up. I hate updates. So, basically, oh shit, my printer's not working either. Oh yes it is, it's printing. So, I need to get rid of that stupid box that's in the screen. Right, so I'm going to tell you what happened. I have to edit the video. Oh, I think my printer settings are out of it. It's a bit tight. It's not actually printing anything at the moment. It will probably do the next layer, okay. Right, so what happened was I went to do my washing, right? And these freaking hooks, these white ones, they're all freaking brittle. Knackered, right? Seeing this bucket, they all broke. Look at that. They just crumble into bits. Right. The state of that. It just crumbled. So my washing all fell down, and I previously 3D printed these red ones, right? And the red ones are made of ABS, unlike this crappy white stuff, which is nylon or some, I don't know what the hell it is, but it's some very cheap, nasty plastic, because after a few years it turns to dust. Temporarily, I've tied it with some string, right? You can see I've got some string on all 4 of them because they all snapped. So I've got string, right? So I'm 3D printing some more hooks, and we do all of them. I'm 3D printing all of the hooks, all of them, because except for the red ones, because the red ones are good. The ones I printed before, and they're good. So these red ones are okay. So because of that, my washing fell down into the dirty toilet area. Yeah, not nice. So I decided to bring my 3D printer out of mothballs, because it's been in mothballs for like, well, I haven't used it since I stopped doing my electromagnetic research, because I've been sick, and I'm still sick. I'm dying. Probably won't be around forever, but I don't disappear on people, leave them in the lurch like that. I'll usually let people know. Right, let me just adjust my stand, because I want to monitor this, because I haven't used my 3D printer for 4 years, and I thought I've got things to do tomorrow, and I thought, well, people don't appreciate it. Now, some of the problems is if the first layer doesn't stick, all subsequent layers on top of that will just, it will just be a mess, right? So I'm hoping that the first layer will stick, right? And I really need to print a lot more than that. I don't know how many I've got it set for. I think there's probably 6 set there. I really need a full table full of them, and because it saves on energy when you do them all in one go. Anyway, let's see what happens. This light is terrible. The contacts, I'm trying to get the brightness up. Yeah, it's not very good. So Right, so I don't know if you can hear what I'm saying. Seems to be a lot of noise. I think it's from the printer. At least my printer... Oh my god, look at the dust layer on this rubber belt. You can't just dust these belts every day. It knackers things up, knocks things out of calibration. But, yeah. There's quite a bit of dust on that belt. So it looks like I'm going to be doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at a time. Oh shit. I'm going to have to go back into Windows because my software's on there for this. I'm going to have to lay them out, layout 6, 12, probably get 24. And just print 24 at a time instead of 6 at a time, because it's going to take me forever. I need a lot more than 6. I need to replace a whole lot. Originally I printed 6, you see, just to replace the ones that broke. That's why I've got it set up at 6. I really need a lot more than that. So anyway, hopefully it will stay stuck to the bed, won't come off. Just, it'd be my luck if it doesn't. Bad luck if it doesn't. Sorry about the beginning, I just couldn't get my freaking phone to connect for some reason. I went live straight away because I was confident that it was going to connect, but it didn't. And with these 3D printers, they get very messy, you know what I mean? You get a lot of plastic and a lot of when you're 3D printing, they do make a lot of mess. You get stringy bits of plastic all over the table. So there's no point in cleaning it often, because as fast as you clean it, it's messy again. Every print is messy. You're using acetone to clean the bed, the heated bed. But I'm chuffed that when I first switched it on, I had a hell of a job getting it to select the menu, because the switch for the menu on the board is sticky. It's a bit dirty. Got some dust in the contacts, I think. Anyway, I put it about a bit and it started working, so I managed to select the right menu, because I've got that many things on the SD card. You know, that many things on there. I was having trouble scrolling through the menu. Let's see, temperature of the nozzle is 269 degrees C. The bed temperature is 105, and I'm at 14% for 6. Oh, I need a lot more than 6. Oh, it is doing some more. It is doing more than 6. Yay! I couldn't see the others before, so it looks like I'm going to be doing 12 at a time. Oh well, that's better than 6. I couldn't remember. It's probably 5 or 6 years since I last printed these things out. You know what? I'll turn the Samsung. Okay, oh shit. Right. Okay, is that any better? I don't know. I'm not using the phone microphone. Turned it down because it's probably, I don't know, it's just as noisy with this one. Hang on, is this working? I don't know if it's working. Oh, I've got to YouTube, see if it's working, because there's a lot of noise. Oh. seem to be picking up a lot of noise. Hang on. Let's see if this works. Why is there no sound? Oh, there is sound, but it's just horrible. Why is there a high frequency whistle? Let's see if this works. Where's that noise coming from? There's a high frequency noise coming from somewhere. Oh, there is sound, but it's just horrible. Why is there a high frequency whistle? Oh, it's picking something up from somewhere. Where's that noise coming from? Oh, you know what it could be? I know what it is. It's my electrostatic air cleaner. Hang on. Why is there a high frequency whistle? Oh, it's picking something up from somewhere. Where's that noise coming from? Oh, you know what it could be? I know what it is. It's my electrostatic air cleaner. I'll turn this echo off in a minute. Alright, I think it's sorted, I think. I never realised that electrostatic air cleaner, I've got this big fan thing, UV light thing, and it generates a high frequency signal for the EHT. Right, I think I sorted it. Right. I'll turn that off so I don't get feedback now. Right. Oh, that's better. Yeah, I can see on my VU meter it's not as bad now. That was terrible. I have to remember not to put that wire near that thing. I'm not sure how long. It says 22% on the printer, so it's 22% through this so far. Because I'm printing I'm using white filament, it's going to be hard to see.
I'm going to make some coffee. I'm thirsty. Ugh. I'd like to get back into doing my some electronic stuff, but you know, just can't afford it right now. Energy's gone through the roof. Everything's so expensive. Every week I'm short of money. Every week. It sucks. I have got a few projects I could build. But you know, the trouble is with me, once I start doing something, it gets frustrating. When you hit a wall and you can't go forward. Right, for some reason these pegs look a little bit too, I don't know, look a bit flat to me, look a bit too squished. No, I think they're alright. It's just I haven't printed with white before for these pegs, so they look a bit bigger than what they normally would look. If I was printing with red, they look smaller for some reason. This peg at this far end, this top end looks a bit dodgy at that corner. I don't know why. Why is that? Oh, it's just a stain. It's a bit of dirty filament, burnt filament rather. Sometimes the filament gets burnt, scorched, and I am running at 270 degrees centigrade. That's very, very hot. That's hot enough to melt solder, trust me. Ugh. That's almost 3 times the temperature of boiling water. So I thought I wanted to take this opportunity to have a little bit of a chin wag, you know, while I'm 3D printing these clothes hanger hooks. According to the printer, I'm at 29% now. Oh, I don't know if I want to stay up for another hour. It looks like it's going to take another hour to do this. It's actually 3:30 in the morning right now. 3:30 a.m. right now, and I need to sleep. I've got to go and see. Got an appointment in the morning. Well, it's not really an appointment. It's a drop-in thing. I need to go there if I can. Need to get things sorted out. Real life situations sorted out. So maybe my camera angle's not right. So anyone that's not seen the 3D printer before, it looks a little bit like a Frankenstein machine, because it is a Frankenstein machine, because it's got different 3D printed replacement parts all over it, so they're all different colours, purple, green, some parts are blue, which you can't really see the blue parts. Actually, the colour temperature is a little bit off. Because those brackets at the bottom are blue. Well, these. Where is it? This bracket in this corner is blue. It looks green to me on the camera. Hang on a minute. Why is there one missing? There's one going to stick. Ah, there is one missing off there. It's 11, not 12. Oh well. So that basically means I've got to run this. Actually, I need to go and check something. How many will I need to replace all the broken ones? Actually, I think that'll do it. I think 11 will do it for now. There's some other parts on there that I haven't modelled in SketchUp yet. They're not hooks, they're actually just rings. I have to go and model them up as well and 3D print those at some point, because they're going to be breaking next. I think the reason why these hooks broke first is because they're not secured on both ends and they've got an open end. Because of the open-ended part, they tend to bend more. That's the reason they snap first. But the others are a closed loop. So the hooks go into the closed loop ringlets, you know, and the closed loop ones, they're going to be breaking next. I haven't had any of them break yet actually, but they're going to be breaking soon. So I'm going to have to print. I'm going to have to model them in SketchUp and 3D print those too. I'll try and make them a bit thinner though, because these are a little bit chunky. So I don't think I'm going to live stream all this because it's going to take too long. I showed you what they come out like on when I started the video, more or less. Let's check something else. Why is my electrostatic air thing making so much freaking noise anyway? Well, it probably wants a good clean. So the main reason I got the electrostatic air cleaner was because of all the problems I have with fumes from the 3D printer, because it does kick out quite a lot of fumes. You know, ABS plastic melted, it stinks like burnt plastic basically, and it also helps to get rid of all those unpleasant plasticky odours. Some people use a 3D printer outdoors or in a shed. Well, it's not recommended because of the drafts. It can cause ABS to warp, you know. When you heat up ABS plastic with on the 3D printer, if it's not shielded from drafts, it will curl. I've had such a big problem with that in the past, where a lot of prints curl up at the edges, and once that happens, that's it. You're going to start again, because they lift off the bed as well, the print bed. And I found the easiest solution was to print smaller sections and bond them all together with acetone afterwards. That is the easiest way. When you're making something that's quite tall, make it in sections instead of one big tall piece or one thick piece. Thick pieces aren't so bad, it's the thin tall pieces that warp more than anything. For years I was plagued with a crackling bad connection somewhere, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And today I stepped on the cable that was the problem, and it had the socket, the extension lead socket which goes to the 3D printer, was the culprit. I thought, oh my god! And every time I walked across the floor I could hear something crackling. I thought, what the hell is that? Where's it coming from? Anyway, I found out what it is. I unplugged it, plugged it in, unplugged it, plugged it in about half a dozen times to clean the contacts, and it's fine now. It's amazing how just a bit of dust, or just, it's usually electrolysis, it causes the contacts to corrode. If you don't plug them in and unplug them regularly, they do get, the contacts can get dirty. Like a plug on a kettle, if you plug it in and you never unplug it, eventually it's going to start arcing, and that's not safe, that's dangerous. It can cause a fire. So it's a good idea to unplug stuff occasionally and plug it back in, because it cleans the contacts. Obviously you do it when it's turned off. You don't do it when it's turned on, otherwise you're going to get sparks, you know. And you do it when it's turned off so that so the contacts are polished up again. At last I can thump my feet on the floor and it doesn't crackle. That was it. For the last 4 years I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out what was causing it. It's not like it's under a heavy load though. It's only running through 3D printer or the computer. It's only a few. It's about 1 to 2 amps on the 230 volt line. It's not running a heater or anything. So it wasn't actually dangerous. If it's low current, it's not dangerous. But it was annoying the heck out of me, because I kept hearing crackles on my speakers and I thought, well, that's coming from? What's doing that, you know? When you listen to music and you hear a crackling sound, you think, what the hell's that? They're actually chrome plated, some of these leads. They've got chrome plating on the copper. And they did that to stop copper oxidizing. It's good. The chrome ones are the best because they're less likely to... well, I don't think it's actually chrome. I think it's like a nickel coating. But it's supposed to be... it doesn't oxidize like copper does, so it improves electrical conductivity. But the other socket, the other half of the socket, I mean the female part, that was copper. So it was copper against a nickel coated contact. You can get a kind of migration of material of the copper, and that can cause problems. What am I at? 48%. So far so good. Nothing's lifted off the bed so far, which is a good sign, because don't you hate it when you're halfway through printing your pegs and if one comes off the bed, then after that, and you've only got the rest of them are printing okay, then you waste filament every time it goes over where the one came off the bed, because it just prints in thin air. It ends up being a plastic dust ball, basically. Or you call, dust balls under your bed, you call them dust bunnies, but in this case it's plastic bunnies. Well, that's obviously, every time you print into thin air, it's not going anywhere, it's just going in, it's just making a right mess, and you're wasting material. And you think, right, if I stop it now, I'm going to waste all of the good ones as well, because I want to start it from where I left off. So you think, well, I'm sacrificing one for the sake of getting the rest of them all printed, you know. So basically, there's 11 on there. If one came off the bed halfway through and it wasn't stuck down anymore, then I would have 9 good ones and 1 duff one. Or 10 good ones and 1 duff one. I can't count. I'm going to check the audio again.
UV light thing, and it's just
Oh, I'm a long way further back. I'm going to check the audio again. Yeah, it's definitely working alright now. No more noise, as far as I can tell. You know, I was thinking the other day, my friend Ken was telling me about robots are getting better. I'm not really into robots, to be honest with you, but you know what? If robots can 3D print, that would be awesome. You know, have a robot standing over your kitchen table and 3D print something in front of you without you having a printer. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Oh, I don't know if it'd be, but then why would you want to use a robot? You'd be unstable, you'd walk into it and then all of a sudden your print's ruined. So yeah, it's probably better you just use a machine to do it. Technically these 3D printers are robots though. They're just very stable and rigid, not frigid, rigid. They have to be very rigid to be stable and to be precise as possible, really. But I mean, the story behind this printer was a friend of mine in America sent it to me, and it got damaged in the post. It was a total. When it arrived, it was wrecked. It looked like it'd been in a car crash. The print head was hanging off the support arms on the left and the right, you know, the purple and the green, whatever it is you can see there. They were smashed. It was a total wreck. Most people would have said, oh, it's knackered, throw it in the bin. But no, I 3D printed new parts because this is a custom home built model. It's not a corporate one, it's open source. All of the parts are available to 3D print. So basically what I did, in order to print the new parts, was I glued the broken bits back together as best I could, with super glue and everything else, so I could get it to work to 3D print new parts that weren't broken. The glued parts, as long as they survived long enough to 3D print the new parts, that was all I wanted. And that's why there's different colours, because I kept changing. I didn't 3D print all the parts all at once. I did it over a period of time. I thought, oh, I'll 3D print that one as well, because that one looks a bit like it's cracking and flaky. Because these brackets were originally PLA, which is cornstarch. The one on the left was cornstarch. This was cornstarch, and now these are ABS. ABS, and I did the base ones, which you can't see. So these at the bottom, this one, that one, they were PLA. And PLA has a tendency to decompose with moisture, and it also expands and contracts a little bit with moisture. If you get it damp, it moves. It's like wood. So when I 3D printed the new ones out of ABS, I had a much more sturdy printer. It was no longer constantly drifting out of spec, out of calibration all the time like it was before. ABS stays put. It doesn't expand with moisture and humidity. But PLA does, which is why I decided to get rid of PLA, because PLA was very, it's environmentally friendly, but it's not very precise. It moves, and you don't want something that expands and contracts with the weather. Not for a 3D printer, no. It's like wood. Most of this 3D printer is wood, actually. This, you can see the woody parts because they're wood. That's particle board, or what do you call it? Plywood. And plywood is more sturdy than PLA. For some reason, maybe it's because they impregnate it with they impregnate it with some sort of bonding chemicals or something to bond the layers together, and it's fairly airtight. Oh my god, there's a huge lag on this, isn't there? So I'm pointing at stuff, and that was, yeah, it's because I'm using my other microphone, and I'll be right out of sync. I should have switched back to my Samsung audio phone from my Samsung phone. Damn it! I forgot about that. The lag. Yeah. Hang on a minute. Let's switch back to my other phone. Hang on a minute. Right. Okay. I'm using my phone again for the audio. Right. Oh, I'll do all that again because it was out of sync. Right. So. That was originally PLA. That was PLA before, over there. And that was PLA, but now it's ABS. Right, okay. I've gone over it again, so it's in sync this time. Yeah. The reason I switched to the other microphone in the first place was simply to avoid all the noise from the printer, really. But when I'm pointing to things, I need to be in sync, don't I? 63% now. You know, I haven't bought any 3D filament for the printer for 4 years. And I was expecting the prices to go way up, but they're still fairly decent. I'm not. It's like £15 for a 1 kilogram spool. That's a lot of filament. But when I was doing my research previously, you know, I was building a lot of stuff. That was costing me an arm and a leg because I was going through a lot of filament. I mean, one spool of 1 kilogram would last me probably a month or two, and then I'll be buying another one, and yeah, after a year you'd be spending over 100 quid, you know what I mean? It adds up.
a freaking massive lag on here. I've just seen where I was pointing at the stuff, and that was ages ago. There must be like 4-minute lag on this. I need to switch back over to the microphone. Right, it's going to overlap a bit, but yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'll switch back over to the mic.
I'm syncing my audio. When I see my hand on the screen, I'll turn the other mic off.
When I see my hand on the screen, I'll turn the other mic off.
Damn it. Damn it. I said damn it because I was talking after I put my hand there, which means I took myself off when I was explaining it. But now I've got both mics turned on.
Now I've got both mics.
Now you might hear me talking twice, I don't know.
Now you might hear me talking twice, I don't know.
I'll wait until I see the hand. When I see the hand, I'll turn off the Samsung
When I
mic
see the hand,
microphone from the
turn off the
phone.
Samsung mic.
Doesn't matter if it's out of sync
Microphone from the phone.
for
Doesn't matter if it's out of sync for
this bit.
this bit.
Oh, I just saw my hand. Right, I'm waiting for another
I just
hand.
saw my hand. Right, I'm waiting for another hand.
Okay, I'll kill my Samsung phone microphone now. It's so confusing. You got one mic that's direct and another mic that's on a delay because of the network. It's going over the network through one router, then through another router, and then to the video encoder, and then it's going out to the internet, and yeah. So, anyone that's not seen my stuff in the past, I 3D printed a whole lot of stuff. You have to go and look at my playlists. I think I have got a 3D printer playlist, but I don't think there's much on that list. There's one of my consent audio lag again. I'll have to repeat that when I see it on the screen. That's one of my concentrics are 3D printed. It's a magnet array with cores in the middle. It's weird having to explain stuff about 2 minutes after I held that in front of the camera. It's really weird. There's a huge delay. I honestly can't understand why there's such a freaking big delay. It's usually about 10 seconds or 3 seconds or something. But for some reason, ever since I had that freaking phone update, it's been like, oh, I hate freaking updates. Oh, it might be because when I started the live stream, I had a black screen because my phone wasn't connected, so it might have messed up the time code. I don't know. I wasn't going to stop this live stream and restart it again because, yeah, I wasn't sure I could do that on OBS. Usually it starts a new stream. When you restart it, it starts a fresh one. That's the way it's worked for me before. So there's another reason why I got an UPS, uninterruptible power supply. A few years ago, I was 3D printing some stuff, and some of these prints were like, took 6 hours, maybe 8 hours. Some of the prints took 12 hours to print. You know, that's a whole half a freaking day. Well, it's technically a day, isn't it? But if you counted, the maximum print job I ever did was like 15 hours, I think. It was a long time. Well, on a couple of occasions before I had the UPS, the power blipped on me. There was an interruption in the power supply. Not hit at this end, it was a power cut. You know, it was like the grid was switching over from one system to another or something, and it ruined the print. It was completely ruined. I had to start all over again. So when you're printing for 6 hours, 7 hours, that's a lot of electricity you've wasted. If it power cuts and then it's ruined, you basically wasted all that electricity you used to print something, and then you've got to start again and do it all over again. And that gets really irritating when these things happen. Basically, you're without a parachute, right? It's like jumping out of an airplane without a parachute. You've got no security. So that's the reason I ended up getting 2 UPS now. I've got a second-hand UPS and I've got a new UPS. And so that if the power goes out, as long as it's not 2 hours or whatever, if power goes off, and it's only for a few seconds even, the UPS kicks in and it keeps the printer going, so you don't lose your work. So I mean, that's another thing with computers. If you're in the middle of writing a document, you're writing a long document, you know, you're typing away and power goes out, oh, my work, it's all gone, I've lost all my work. That's the same situation, right? It's frustrating. That's why you need an UPS, so you don't have those situations. I mean, a lot of computers do autosave now anyway. They automatically save your document every so many minutes, make a backup. But that's okay, as long as you haven't typed, you're not typing like 100 words a minute, and it's like 5 minutes since you last had an update, a backup, because you're going to lose most of the document that you typed and you have to redo it all. And when you're inspired to type something, for example, it's usually one off. It comes to you. It's like a flow, you know. But once you break that flow, it's not the same after that. You can't just go back and redo it because your brain's not a computer. And I've done that before. There's been a situation where I've been writing something and I thought, I really like this. Is really come out well. I'm really happy with that. And then boom, power goes off. Oh no! I forgot to save it. And then you think, can I rewrite that? Damn it! I can't remember what I wrote now. I mean that is frustrating when that happens. I mean, 3D print is not quite the same though, because it's a machine. It's just following a code, but you still lose work, you still lose electricity, you still lose time, and you've still got to redo it again. So if you've spent 6 hours, that's 6 hours gone that you'll never get back. If your power goes out, you've got to do that 6 hours again, right? So that's 12 hours to print something instead of 6, right? Yeah. I think there was a friend of mine, I think arggg Research, he was doing a print job once, and I seem to recall him telling us he got right near the end of a really big job, 3D print, and something happened, and it was, it was all trashed. Somewhere. I can't remember now if it was a power cut he had or something else happened, whether it came off the bed, I don't know, I can't remember now. But yeah, it happens. Stuff happens, yeah. It's a funny thing because my world is kind of different to a lot of other people's world. I mean, people who build things, create things, we live in a little bubble of creation and invention, and we have an active mind, we have an active creative quality, you know. Inventors, people like that, they just get stuck in to focus on that. But then you've got these other people who don't build anything, they go around smashing things up. And it was a weird thing because I was talking to somebody the other day, and she said to me, I'll give you a knock, if I can't get my TV fixed, I'll give it to you, I might smash it up. I thought, what? What's wrong with you? She didn't ask me to fix it, probably doesn't even know how to fix stuff like. I said, what, you don't want me to fix your remote control? I said, it's probably fixable. She said, no, I'm just going to smash it up. I thought, what's wrong with these people? They don't create, they break things. And I have no patience with people that do that. I mean, you got people that will accept a challenge, and they will try their best to resolve problems. Problem solve, yeah. Solving problems. And other people that are so frustrated, or maybe lack of intellect, I don't know what it is, but they don't even try to fix a problem. They'll just smash it up because it's probably over their head. It's just out of their reach, out of their scope of creation and resolving problems. I don't know what it is, but sometimes you see these people that say, oh, you see smashed up TVs on the side of the road. And, I mean, you think, what is wrong with these people? Why do they have to smash everything? I was 4 years old when my mum told me off for breaking her thing because I took it apart. But that was different. I took it apart to learn how it worked so I could figure out how to put it back together again. When you take things apart, you have a different brain and mindset of understanding something, what makes it tick. when you have that mindset of understanding something, it gives you the insight to build, to create. But the other people don't do that. They don't take the screwdriver and dismantle it like a sensible person would, because they have no intention of putting it back together again. They just want to see chaos and a mess in front of them. And I see these people that smash things up and I think, what's wrong with them? You know, people that vandalise phone boxes. Years ago, that's what we had. We had a big problem with people smashing up phone boxes for some reason. It's just nuts. I could never understand that. I just never figured it out. Why they do that? Because ultimately, it's going to cost them money. Even though they think, oh, it's not my problem, it's not my phone box. But there's a short-sightedness there, because they're paying taxes. And when you smash up the public phone boxes, the councils or the authorities that have to maintain these things will increase the taxes so that everybody pays more to fund the replacement of these things. So really, it's a big roundabout way of, it's what goes around comes around, basically. So I don't know if they seem to have this idea that it might create a job for somebody and come back to them. I don't know, but it doesn't usually work like that. It just, and we end up paying more taxes, basically. So there's people that create, there's people that destroy, and these two people that put them together in a room, not a good idea, because they argue and they fall out because they're two totally different mindsets. You know, one wants to blow up the world, the other one wants to create and rebuild the world. But you can't rebuild the world until somebody destroys it, basically. But that's not the way to be. It's about improving the world. Why blow it up? Just adapt it, you know, modify it. You don't have to blow things up to make it better. Anyway, it's going back to step one, basically. You don't want to go back to step one, because that would mean going back to the freaking caveman ages and rediscovering fire and the flint and rubbing two sticks together. I mean, who wants to go back to that? I don't. I mean, that's basically where they would take us if they wanted to blow everything up. They would. I mean, let me put it another way, right? You need a machine to create another machine. That's the way it is now. When you buy a car, that car was not manufactured by a human being. It was made on another machine, right? That's the way the factories work now. Now, if you was to go and destroy all of the machines, there's nobody around that could actually build that car because they don't have the machine to build it. So they'd have to go right back to square one and relearn all the methods and the techniques and the skills which have been forgotten. Because we've got to a point now where all the skills and the techniques that we used to have, you know, 100, 200 years ago, most of those skills have gone. There's no one passing them on anymore. There's very few skills that are passed on, like the guy that makes shoes. Yeah, we've got this guy in our town. He's called the last cobbler. He's the last one, the last cobbler, the last guy that makes shoes from scratch. What's going to happen when he's gone? Who's going to make shoes? You see, at the moment, the shoes are made in a factory. And guess what? They're made on a machine. The machine makes the shoes. And the reason why we don't have any cobblers anymore is because the machines put them out of business. But you can't reinvent a cobbler. Once the information and the knowledge is gone, you'd have to go back to stage one, step one, which is, yeah, however far back it goes. You might end up going back to a freaking dinosaur period, for all I know. Living in a cave. Well, nobody wants that. People want comforts of home, and they're not going to have the comforts of home if you destroy everything. because if you destroy everything, you'll have nothing. You go up to one of these people that smash this stuff up and says, right, now you've smashed up that TV, go and make a new one. I said, what? Yeah, exactly. How? You don't even know how to make one, do you? No, why would I bother? Well, you like watching football, or you like watching sports? And, yeah, but there's loads of them around. Well, there won't be loads of them around if there's a war, a nuclear war, and it destroys all the machines. How are you going to do it then? I'll get somebody to make me a new machine. Who? Like who? I don't know. So basically, these people are short-sighted. They don't see the consequences, where it's going to take them to, and you end up in a dystopian world where nobody knows how to do anything anymore. There's a movie called Idiocracy. That's where everything's falling apart. Everything's falling apart. Nobody knows how to fix the roads anymore. I mean, I want to live like that. So I'm just going to rant and talk about stuff. But you know what? If there was another war, right? If there really was a nuclear war, the EMP, the electromagnetic pulse, would destroy every single microchip, every single phone, every device that you rely on would be dead, because the EMP would induce such a massive electromagnetic pulse in the circuitry of your phones and your devices, they will be totally fried. And if that happens, you would no longer have a machine to build a car. You will no longer have a machine to build a phone. But there are certain people in the world who know about this, and they're very afraid about this. They're terrified that if there was a nuclear holocaust, that they would all end up cut off from the world and isolated. So some of them have put these electronic devices, a lot of them are in storage, in sealed bunkers, shielded by lead. But you know what? The only people who are going to get these things, if there was a nuclear war, are the rich people. The poor people would have nothing. So it would be dystopia all over again. It would be dystopian world. And so when you see people kicking the hell out of infrastructure and destroying utilities, destroying devices, all they're doing is destroying themselves. Well, they're destroying their own future, what they love, because they see all these devices as being worthless, when in reality we've become dependent on them. But at the same time, there's a lot of devices that are evil as well. I mean, monitoring, spyware, things that track your movements, but it's not the whole system, it's just part of it. And it's not, oh look at that, it's finished, 99.8%. You're watching the lag. So that's that done. Well, you're going to see it in a minute because there's a lag. I was just trying to fill in time because it can be boring watching 3D printing. I'm waiting for the lag to catch up right now. So temperature on, see, can't even see that. It's all whited out for some reason. I keep forgetting about the lag, but I try to focus on the screen, but I better switch back to my phone.
So, switch the audio back to my phone again, because I can say ta-ta and it'll be in sync. Right, there's my hooks for fixing my clothes kind of thing. I'll give you a zoom, a close-up view. There they are. The little spines that stick out are to stop the thing from unhooking itself. So that's that. Bye for now.